All right, so we have everyone here now. Welcome, Dr. John Horry, and Dr. Susan also welcome. So
Yeah,
Dr.
thank you, guys. I'm here live.
Awesome. So Dr. John is a partner of Dr. Susan, and Dr. John is really looking at the opportunities. A top leader in the country, and I'm telling him NextGen is huge. Though he has a few questions, and I said, okay, we can have this session. So Dr. John meets that's our VP, Kamran Abbasi, phenomenal gentleman, doing incredible things in the industry, multiple seven-figure earner. And on the other top is Mr. Paul Chalmers, our MD. You know, I gave you quite a bit about his history, top hedge fund trader, our #1 educator in the academy, who has made my trading very, very easy. I always say thank you for Newton Index. I'm so grateful. So over to you, our VP, Mr. Cameron.
Thank you so much, Audie, for the wonderful introduction. Dr. Susan and Dr. John, it's great to have you guys here. An absolute pleasure. My name is Kamran Abbasi. I'm the VP of Marketing. I'm not going to take a lot of time today because the individual that we have with us today is someone very special, someone that we respect very highly, and someone that's not just respected within the company, but someone that's respected outside the company just as much as is respected within the company as well. He's got, I mean, the kind of experience that he's got in the corporate space as well as the trading space is phenomenal. And he adds to the credibility of this company tenfold. You know, having someone like Paul in your business speaks volume. And if you have someone like Paul spearheading an operation, spearheading a business, running an engine of a project you're building, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more. So we have the gentleman himself here on this call who has designed the engine of NextGen. And I'm sure you guys agree, it doesn't matter how good of a car is, how good of a plane is, if the engine isn't up to date, it's not going to work. And we have someone who's made that possible for us. And I'm going to hand it to him, to this incredible individual himself, Mr. Paul Chalmers. Thank you for being here, bro. You are on the spotlight.
Lovely. Thank you very much. So hi, Dr. Susan, and hi, Dr. John, is it? Yes, I think so. Hopefully. Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
My name is Paul Chalmers, as you were told. It's good to meet you both. We've also got Obi, who has become a good friend as well, somebody that I know very well. So my role, what I wanted to do, maybe before you ask some questions, is just to explain a number of items about the company, the important items. I am not a network marketer. Now, then that might seem a little bit unusual, saying the managing director of a huge network marketing company is not a network marketer. But I'm not. My skills are in business and running businesses and in Forex and Forex education, not just Forex, but crypto as well. So you're not going to get loads of bells and whistles and blowing smoke everywhere. That's not the way I talk. It's not important to me. It is important sometimes in the market inside of the company, but not when somebody is trying to explain how a business works, because the last thing you want is somebody saying how great something is and you haven't got to worry and all of those things. Because at the end of the day, you need to know how the company works to be able to make your own decision on whether this is a good opportunity or not. So therefore, all I can do tonight is just explain to you the way that the business operates, okay? Now, you need to know, first of all, that my education and my degree is in electronic and control engineering. Now, that is 90% maths. Forget the electronics and everything. That's 90% maths. So my head is a bit of a calculator, okay? I'm brilliant with numbers. I'm brilliant with logic. Now, the roles that I had in the past before 2010 were in very large organizations, blue chip companies like Monsanto, Pirelli, Tyco, the 44th biggest company in the world, Exxon. So I've come up through a blue chip company process. And what I was very good at was going into companies to improve them. I would be brought into a company when they were having problems. And I was very good at looking at the business, looking at the product, looking at the quality of the product, looking at the people who run the business, were they the right type of people? And also, you know, how we operated. Because I was in Mitsubishi, that's Japanese. I learned Japanese manufacturing methods. Yeah, how the Japanese become so very efficient at being able to make things is because they do things in a certain way. So my job was to go in and implement all of this. You know, fire the people who were rubbish, bring the right people in, put the proper people into the right positions, make sure that the product was good, and then make sure that the quality of the product was correct, and then make any engineering changes to that product to improve it so that the product could be made very effectively all the time. Because as you know, when you make things, tolerances are very important. If you're making something to the top of a tolerance, then it's very easy for it to go out of quality. Yeah, but if you've got it down in a mid area, then it's got to go a long way out of tolerance to be able to become a quality issue. So it was all of this. This is what I was very, very good at. And this is why major blue chip companies came to me to headhunt me to go into their companies to improve it. Now, various things changed in 2010. And divorce was one of them, and was a main reason why I changed what I was doing, because the children, and I had little children, they didn't want to go with their mum. They wanted to come with me. So therefore, I couldn't do the high level jobs that I was doing, because I would be in Italy one week in a manufacturing site, France another week, all, you know, Germany. So I had to be home to be a live at home dad, and to bring my children up, because that was more important to me. They wanted to be with their dad, and therefore nothing else mattered but was to be there for them. Now, I did trading, financial trading, okay, for a long time when I was in industry. It was my hobby, so to speak, and I was very good at it. So what I decided to do was to open my own trading academy. Now, there's a trading academy in the UK called the UK Trading Academy. It's one of the longest running academies in the world. I started that in 2010. It is now probably the most highly respected academy and the largest academy in the world, not just in Europe. Trained around 140,000 students in that time. Now, what happened is that 2.5 years ago, the owners of NEXTGEN went into the financial markets in London and said, we would like to start providing education in our company. Could you please provide us some names of people that we could go to provide the education? And all of those companies came back with my name, because I have an incredible reputation in the London financial markets. Who I don't know is not worth knowing, you know. I know the CEOs of hedge funds, of all the big brokerages, all the prop funds, etc. That is sort of the impact and the responsibility that I had, because during that period of time from 2010 till now, not only did the academy grow and I was becoming very successful, because I teach people in a very different way how to trade the markets, and they actually make money. Where a lot of people and a lot of companies out there teach you and take money from you to teach you how to do it, but they haven't got a clue really. They're just doing it to make money themselves, not to teach people properly. So I have a great reputation of being able to teach people how to trade the financial markets and make money for themselves. Now, that's how I joined the company, because the two owners spoke to me, and I provided as a contractor the service for the academy, teaching people how to trade the financial markets. 12 hours a day, live streaming of two incredible strategies, like Obi mentioned about Newton, and now we've got an incredible Da Vinci as well, and many other strategies as well. And we do it in a modular form, and I know exactly the way to do it, how to do it, the speed to do it, and the content that is needed for people to do that. So over the last 2.5 years, the Academy has become the biggest part of the company. It does what it says on the tin. It is brilliant. We now have thousands of members who've been through it and say that it's fantastic. So it's not just me saying it's fantastic. I created it. You know, I'm going to say it's great, but now we got thousands of people who say it's great. Now, I thought that it was so good that I put it up for accreditation many months ago. Now then, there isn't a single network marketing company in the world that provides Forex and crypto education that has an accredited course. What does an accredited course mean? It means that it's accredited for university and colleges by an independent accreditation company for the likes of Barcelona University, Paris, Oxford, Cambridge, and all various colleges and universities in UK and Europe. Now then, a month or so ago, we had that full accreditation through, which now an external body is saying it's that good. It doesn't matter if I say it or thousands of members now say it and provide all of the money that they're making trading every single day in WhatsApp and the Telegram groups. Now we have a independent accreditation company. So we are the only, even the top Forex and crypto, well, they don't do Forex now because they failed at it. Even the top crypto educator in the world, who's the biggest network marketer in the world, they failed at Forex, have not got an accredited course. Okay, so we are number one as regards quality of our product. But again, that goes back to business, because unless you have a great product, how is your company going to succeed? It takes me back to business. Even though I'm nothing to do with network marketing, there's a business model which I have gone through, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about that to you. So you know a bit about my background, how I joined the company. Now, the thing is, I was making far more with my hedge fund, and that means I have licenses and tools which only the big boys have, like the hedge funds, like the banks and institutions, who have the data streaming into their servers live to be able to see what is really happening with the markets. You know, that costs $30,000 a month to stream in. All of our members on the Academy have that every single day because we use my license. So we've got the same tools to be able to trade that the big boys have. That is why we're so successful. Secondly, I do not teach retail trading. I teach institutional trading. The retail traders lose money, the institutional traders make money. So what's the point of teaching people retail trading when 85% of all retail traders lose? So you see, there's a number of reasons why we're that good. It's the type of teaching, it's the tools that we have, and now it's the license and accreditation that we've got. Now, let me take you on a little bit now to the company. I was making far more money trading the markets than the NEXTGEN traders were. They use an external company, an external broker in London. So over the last 2.5 years, I have got more and more and more involved with the company, because now they realized that if they allowed me to trade the company's money, that I could make more than what their traders were. So therefore, my team now trades all the company money. It's not an external trading team. It's my trading team, who are 10 times better than the company that they were using. So it's all done internally. It's not somebody who can run away with your money externally. It's done through regulated brokers. It's our money, and I am the head of the trading team. Now, with everything that was going on, I'm now providing all the Forex and crypto education to the company. I'm trading all the company's money. That's a huge part of the company. So therefore, a number of months ago, I think it was February or something like that, they asked me to become managing director of the company and co-owner of the company. So I'm now one of the owners, and I'm also the co-founder of NEXTGEN and the Academy. So I have a very large role within this company now, because I'm the guy that makes the money, and I'm also the guy that provides the service. So as you can see, there's only the network inside left. Now, just over a year and 4 months ago now, Rian and Rizwan said to me, look, we're going to relaunch as NextGen. Can you please make an engine which is going to be sustainable for the future? Now, this company's been in existence 4.5 years. I know that most network marketing companies are only in existence for what, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. If they get to 12 months, that's very rare. So they said, we need you to generate an engine which is capable of running this network marketing company for the significant future. And what we mean by significant future is 10 years. Now, I had to start from scratch because, and when I tell you some of these things now, you will understand from your past experiences and most probably bad experiences with network marketing companies, why these things have happened. Now, not being a network marketer and not knowing anything about the network marketing model, I had to go back to basics. So what I did with my team was I took the last 600 network market. This was 1 year and 4 months ago I started this, okay? Which was a year since we sort of rebranded as NextGen. So the first thing I did was I took my team and we went back through and looked for the last 600 network marketing companies that had started. Okay, we went back a long way, 600, and we did analysis on them. And the analysis that we did on them was quite significant. We looked at who were the owners, what offices did they have accounts, where was their website registered. Could you actually find these people? What was the compensation plan? What was the daily rewards? So in other words, we were able to get a lot of information about those companies. And the long and the short of it, so I don't take too long to explain, but I want you to understand in detail so you know the logic and you know the thinking. We found that 80% of those companies, out of those 600 companies, 80% of them started as a Ponzi and ended as a Ponzi. Now then, 80% is ridiculous. What chance have you got of finding a good one? Now then, we also found that there was about 12%. And what I mean by 80% were Ponzi's is that you had pretend owners. You couldn't find where they were. You couldn't find accounts. You couldn't see where they were registered. And we found that they run away at different times. 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months were the norm. And if you look at some of the companies that have just run now and have taken, there's one big one at the moment, Hyper. Yeah, it's run away with billions of people's money, and the owner, I do know, he's run away to Dubai. You know, I know exactly who the owner is, but he said that he was the lead networker, load of rubbish. He was actually the owner, so that he didn't have the blame in the end. And that's Hyperfund or Hyperverse. Yeah, billions of people's money they've disappeared with, as an example. Now then, that's 80% Ponzi. Then we looked at a number of other ones which were like lasted longer than 9 months. Now what we found with this next 12%, so we've got 80 and 12, that's 92%. This 12% lasted longer than we expected. My team could find real owners, you know, they had an office, but the office may be a house address or something, you know, but you could actually track them and find them. Now, those companies actually lasted a lot longer than the 80% of the Ponzi's. And what we were doing is we were getting a lot of data. We did a lot of data analysis, okay? And what was coming out very clearly was the compensation plan and daily reward levels. The higher they were, the quicker the company would disappear. Now, out of this 12%, they had what you would say as not realistic, but not too far away from maybe being achievable as compensation plan and daily rewards. Now, when we analyzed these, they lasted longer, but we found out why they lasted longer, because there is a common reason why network marketing companies disappear. And that was that these 12% started with the right intentions. They were people you could find on LinkedIn, you know, they were companies. But the problem that they got was that they set their compensation plan and daily rewards at a level where people would get very excited about and join. And the problem that they had was they became successful. Now, when they became successful, what they found is that the engine that they were using, and it was normally Forex, couldn't cope with the amount of money coming in and the daily rewards and compensation plan that they had to pay. They realized that the hardest part of running a network marketing company is the engine that generates the profits to be able to share with the members and pay for the compensation plan. Now, as I said, their compensation plan and their daily rewards were much lower than the Ponzi's, but still they couldn't do it. Now then, I'm a fantastic Forex. I know, sorry, being big-headed, but I'm a fantastic trader. And the one thing that came out very clearly to me was that you cannot run a network marketing company by trading the Forex markets. All the companies that are out there at the moment that say that they're making their money from Forex are lying. Now, that's a very strong statement, but just let me explain what I mean. The top hedge fund in the world last year, and you can check it on Bloomberg, is Tiger Global. They made 10.6%. The best hedge fund with the best traders made 10.6%. You can't run 5% of a network marketing company making 10% a year. It's impossible. Yeah, totally impossible. Now, you see, the problem is with people when they say that they're trading Forex to make their profits, they can do in the beginning. It's not a total lie. They can do in the beginning. But as soon as they start to generate more money and more people coming in, it hits a max. Because Forex only has a certain amount of liquidity that you can put into those trades. That is why the biggest one in the world that trades billions can only make 10%. Because you can only put a certain size trade into the market. It's called liquidity. Just like coming into your house, yeah, you've got a 15 mil pipe coming into your house with water, yeah? Say you brought that into a house where you had 10 bathrooms and you put the taps on in every single bathroom and every single washroom, yeah, and basin. What would happen to that water? It would supply water to each of those taps, but they would go to a little trickle because there's only a certain amount of liquid that can come through the pipe coming into your house. It's the same with Forex. So therefore, I started to now understand more about what I needed to develop. And Forex might have been part of it, but it only had to be a certain part, a certain percentage. Now then, therefore, that is when I started to get the knowledge from what I learned to be able to generate this properly. Now, the one thing that I found with the 8% of the companies who are still in existence, okay, like ACN, you know, these companies that have been there for years, was that they had a compensation plan and daily rewards that was far lower than the ones that failed. Now, most network marketing companies, to be successful, as I told you, will put a high compensation plan and a high daily reward in place, because they want to attract leaders. They want to get excitement. But the problem is, as I said to you, they can't achieve the amount of money that's then coming in. And even the ones that started off with the right intention, as they get more successful, it'll get to a point where the compensation plan and the daily rewards that they need to pay out, when they get those withdrawals, the engine isn't making enough to pay. And that's when they start down the slippery slope, because then they start to take money from the money that comes in and they start paying withdrawals from new money. As you know, that is then the downward slope, because the more successful you get, the more money you take. In the end, you have to close. So therefore, it was very, very clear that the business model that was being used even by the people who started off with the right intentions was not good enough. Because why? They used a top-down approach. Now, what do I mean by a top-down approach? A top-down approach is the most dangerous way of running a business you can possibly think of. Okay. I think you're a couple. I believe you're a couple, but if you have children and yourselves, you would never, ever run your house on a top-down approach. What do I mean by that? Well, Dr. Susan is going down in her car down the road and she sees $1 million mansion. Oh, I'm going to enjoy buying that. Imagine sitting down in my $1 million mansion, getting my friends over for a cup of tea. It's going to be amazing. So Dr. Susan goes to the bank and says, look, I've got a 250,000 house. I need to lend 750,000, please. And she buys her mansion. First month's mortgage comes in and it's $10,000 a month. Oh, heck. I'll get all the money that I've got. I'll take some of my savings and pay it. Phew. Month 2 comes. Oh, God. Let's take the rest of my savings. Yeah. Month 3, you've had it. There's no money left to pay the mortgage. Why? Because you've used the top-down approach. You would never run your house on that. Because the only way to run a business is bottom-up. What do I have coming in? This is what Dr. Susan would do. Now then, we have this amount coming in. This is how much I pay for my mortgage at the moment. This is how much it costs for the kids' education. This is how much it costs for electricity and water. This is how much for enjoying ourselves a little bit. This is how much we got left. Why don't we use just 50% of that and get an increase in mortgage for that amount of money? Now you may go out of your 250,000 house and you can afford a 500,000 house. But you budgeted for it. It's a bottom-up approach. You would do it, businesses should do it, but network marketing companies don't, because they're in it for the big bucks, and then unfortunately they then run away. So therefore, the way that we have generated NEXTGEN is a bottom-up approach. I generated the engine, and then we said, let's put a compensation plan and daily rewards in place that we can achieve. It might not be as high as the people down the road and the one that's starting today or the one that started yesterday, but we've been here for 4.5 years and we're going to be here for another 10 years. So we can only do it in such a way that it's sustainable. Therefore, our compensation plan, which we've already made 14 millionaires from, so it's a compensation plan where you can become a millionaire. So it's good enough for that. And we have daily rewards that are suitable for the marketplace that we're in. Now then, as I said to you, Forex wasn't good enough. Now then, I'm an excellent options trader as well. I've learned from the best in the world. Glyn Calvert is one of the best options traders in the world. You can look him up on Google. If you're writing any notes, Glyn Calvert. He's one of the top options traders in the world, and he has taught me many, many years ago. I'm an excellent options trader. Now, what we are doing is we are selling options. What does that mean? It means we're like an insurance company. Options are a very unusual form of trading. They're done by the bank, the treasury departments in banks. They're done by commodity companies, etc., because they want to take out an insurance against something that they're doing. If they're selling oil, as an example. So we have become an insurance company, seller of options. Let me give you an example. Now, Obi is an oil mogul. Yeah, he sells 1 million barrels of oil every 3 months. And Obi buys his oil from Exxon. Now, Obi has got a warehouse. And that warehouse over 3 months will go from 1 million down to a very small amount. And then the next lot comes in from Exxon. So he constantly fills it up, sells, fills it up, sells. So Obi today has just bought 1 million barrels, and he's paid the market price, $100 a barrel. Let's say our oil is $100 a barrel today. Now then, 3 months later, the oil arrives in Obi's warehouse, and Exxon says, give me the $100 a barrel you bought it for. The problem is, just like 2.5 years ago, oil had disappeared almost to zero. Let's just say it went to $20. Obi's just bought $1 million barrels at $100, And by the time he gets them 3 months later and he's got to pay X on for them, oil is worth $20. Now, I don't think that OB's customers are going to say, oh, we're so sorry for your OB. We'll pay you $100 a barrel. Don't worry. No, they're not. They're going to say, we pay $20 because today it's $20. I'm buying it today. But OB is very smart. OB takes out an option. He buys insurance. He buys an option at $95 for oil. What does that mean? He pays a premium, just like your car insurance. He pays a premium. And then what happens is that if the oil goes down below $95, anything lower than that, the option pays for it. So therefore, OB hasn't lost between $100 and $20. So he hasn't lost $80 a barrel and 1 million barrels. So he's bankrupt. He only loses $1 million barrels at $5 because he bought it at 100 and he put the insurance at 95. He may just be able to sort that out. Yeah, he may just be able to sort $5 million out, but not $80 million. Yeah, and he still keeps going. Now, that is an option. Now, that's what we do. We sell options to people who want to take an option out on something they're doing. That's why I mentioned commodities. You can do it on oil. You can do it on wheat. You can do it on gold, silver, you know, anything within the commodity market, rubber. Now, diamonds. Now, we do options trading and we are sellers of options. Now, what happens is that we also, because of my trading knowledge, we avoid those car crashes when something goes wrong, yeah? You know, when oil plummets, because what we do is once we lose 1.5 times the amount of money we've had as the insurance premium for OB, we put a trade in the opposite direction. So we put a sell. We put a sell at, say, $70. So 70 to 20, we're actually making all of that losses. We're losing it. We're making it because we're in a sell as well. So we only lose 1.5 times the premium we get, which means that we make an awful lot of money because I have found a way of mitigating the car crashes, you know, when something goes wrong with the insurance that you've taken. So we don't pay out huge amounts when it goes wrong. Now, this has become the bread and butter of the company. What I mean by that, it's not high profits. You don't get huge profits, but it's constant profits coming into the company, which pays for the company's outgoings and it pays for daily rewards. Forex, we've got about 60% of our money in Forex. The rest is in the next 3. So we got 4 parts to our engine. Forex, about 60% of the money's in there. And OB can actually send you an FX Blue link. If you don't know what FX Blue is, it's an independent verification company that you can attach your trading account to, and they analyze it and verify it that it is what it really is. So you can go and analyze our Forex account, which has got 60% of the company's money in, and see what trades we've got, what profit we've made, what loss we've made, what are the markets that we've traded, which are the best markets we've traded, what's the worst trade, what's the best trade. You can analyze it to the nth degree. Now that provides transparency because now you can see where a lot of the company's money is and what it's doing. We can't do that on options because there's no company in the world that can verify an option, okay, because it's very complex. Now then, the third part. So Forex is around 60% of all the company's money. We do options continuously. The third part is real estate. Now, OB can show you videos of the 30 million euro apartment block that we bought in Istanbul about 2.5 years ago. We renovated it, made it into a luxury 320 apartments, 1 and 2 bedroom. And our members have been there. You can go there. You know, anything I say, I can prove. You can go there, you can see, you walk into the downstairs where the mall is at the bottom of the Istanbul Tower. And you can go to the sales office, you can buy one of ours and you get a 5% discount if it's a NEXTGEN member buying a NEXTGEN apartment. So the thing is, we've sold about 260 of those now out of the 320. So it's starting to come towards an end. Therefore, just over a year ago, we started another project in Dubai called NEXTGEN Residences. Now, there's only 27 of them, not like the 321 and 2-bedroom apartments. This is a very specific apartment block in the latest area of Dubai that's growing up like mad. And they are luxury 3- and 4-bedroom apartments with swimming pool, with gym. Again, we have videos. I'm sure Obi can get, or we can get from camera, and the videos of those apartment blocks. We've got we've got the walls up, and we've got the roofs on now, and they're starting to put all the glass inside and start making these 27 luxury apartments, which are going to be sold for an awful lot of money. Now then, that was a year ago. We've just signed an agreement with Ramada, that Ramada are building a brand new 5-star hotel. And we are going to provide the residences. We're going to build the residences because, as you know now, a lot of big hotel chains, they like to make a hotel, but they like to have residences by the side, very smart residences. So we're doing that. So we constantly filling the real estate pipeline up with projects all the time. As one's coming to an end, the next one will come on. As that comes to an end, the next one will come on. Now, real estate brings in a lot of money into the company. So that's the third part of the engine. The fourth part of the engine is very specific. It's a very special system, and that is crypto trading. Okay, but crypto trading like you cannot imagine. Now, just in April, Obi knows this, but just in April, I was invited to a hotel in London where 30 of the top companies in the world were meeting. Okay, this is Forex companies, this is banks and crypto companies. And the aim was to generate strategies within the crypto market that had never, ever been seen before. Now, those 30 companies signed a non-disclosure agreement, and we now have 6 strategies that make incredible money. Due to the non-disclosure agreement, I'm not able to explain in depth those strategies, but I have been allowed to give an example of one, because you haven't got the license to do it. You haven't got the full knowledge of where to go to do it and how to do it. But the way I'll explain it, you will understand how one of them is incredible, the other 5 are just. Now, when we were discussing this, I was one of 30 in the world that were chosen. That gives you an idea. There was only 2 from the UK chosen. That is the reputation that I have in the financial industry in the UK. So what happened was that we went there, met. Now, you've never had Forex, crypto, and banking CEOs of major companies in the world together. And I'm going to explain one of the strategies to you. Now, one of the banking CEOs said, look, we have a system that we use in the banks, and we have something called looping, and we use other people's money to make money for ourselves. He said, it's well known in the banking sector, but we literally steal people's money, you use it to make money, and then give it back to them. So this is how it was explained. And then a crypto company came up and said, I know what we can do to do this. We have, I'm sure you understand blockchains. Yeah. Blockchain is an instrument, not an instrument, sorry. It is a system which a cryptocurrency runs on. It's basically a load of filing cabinets, but that's a blockchain. Okay, so you'll have a blockchain for Ethereum, blockchain for Bitcoin, blockchain for Binance, BNC. Now then, on these blockchains, companies actually run something called smart contracts. Now, I'm sorry if you know what all of this is, but I'll explain it so that you understand it all. Now, smart contracts are pieces of software that are written to do a certain job for a company. Now, there are investment smart contracts. This is where companies have a fantastic product, but they need money to grow their company. So they're looking for money to grow the company, investment money. So they will put an investment smart contract up. Now, those investment smart contracts make between 19 and 20% a year. Still not enough money to run a network marketing company. But this is where the magic happens, and it really is magic. What we can do is there are also smart contracts where you can lend money. You can loan money. You know, a lot of mortgage companies are going to go to smart contracts. You know, I get a mortgage with a bank, our bank in the UK, Halifax. Yeah, I get it for 1.98%. Now, you can go to loan companies and you can get loans for 2 to 3% a year. Now, what you can do is there is a system within crypto where you can take 75% of the money that you invested in the investment companies and use it as collateral to get a loan. So about 6 months ago, I put €1 million into 4 smart contracts, which are giving me around 19 to 20% a year. So I put $250,000 in the 4. I then was able to use 75%, and now you'll be able to understand what it's called looping. Okay, a loop. I can take 75% of that as collateral and get a loan for $750,000 from a smart contract. I then bring that over. There's your loop, yeah? I bring that back in, and now I've got 1.75 million earning 19 to 20%, and 750,000 of it, I'm lending at 3 to 4%. I now take that 750,000 and I go and I use that as collateral to get another 650 or whatever it is, thousand, bring it back in. Now I've got 2.2 million. I can then take that 650,000, go and get collateral. If I do that 12 times, my 1 million has become 4. Now let's look at the maths. I've risked 1 million in 4 different contracts. Yeah, $250,000 in each. I've lent 3 million by looping, by using somebody else's money to get myself money as a loan. 3 million of it, I've lent from somewhere else at 3 to 4%, and I'm getting 19 to 20. At the end of the year, I will give them their 3 million back, plus 4% during the year, and my 1 million will have made me the 19 to 20% that it's going to. But the thing is, the 3 million has as well, because I've now got 4 million making 19 to 20%. 1 million of it is my money only. The 3 million I'm lending at 3 to 4%. You can understand the maths yourselves. Therefore, when everything goes back, my 1 million will have made 50 to 60% in a year. It has magnified it that much because I'm getting 4 million making me 20%. Yeah, and I'm only paying 3 to 4% of it for the 3 million that I've loaned. It's an incredible strategy. You have to have licenses to do it. You have to know how to do it, but we do. And that is working day in, day out to make us money. Because, of course, we can invest quite a lot in it. The risk. Well, the risk is mainly other people doing the risk who've lent us the 3 million. We've only risked $250,000 in 4 different companies that we've gone and done our due diligence on to make sure that the chances of them failing are very small. So therefore, we get our money back at the end of the year. And it's spread over 4 different companies. So the worst possibility probably is we could lose $250,000. There's nothing compared to what we're making. So that is one example of one of the strategies that we have. The other 5 are just as crazy. You couldn't believe they exist and just as incredible. Now, those are the 4 parts to the engine. Forex, which we show everybody. You can see what that's done because we provide a link that you can go show people what we're making. Real estate, options, and specialist crypto. Now then, when I'd made that, we then looked at what our compensation plan and daily rewards needed to be for us to be constantly sustainable. And therefore, that took me about 9 months. So then, of course, we knew that we could run NextGen totally sustainable forever. because the way that we run our compensation plan is sustainable, but also the compensation plan and the daily rewards with the amount of money that that engine can generate is significant. Now, we have about 210,000 people in the company at the moment. So what I did is I took the average package that is sold, the compensation plan for that package, the daily rewards for that package, and I extrapolated it to see when our engine would max out. Okay, again, you can see this is very much maths, finance, and business acumen rather than network marketing. You know, this is, we got to run the business properly to be able to be here for the future. So then what happened was that we knew what we could generate, made the compensation plan, made the daily rewards, and we obviously launched NEXTGEN, which is running very well. Now then, that engine that I generated for 210,000 people is running at about 30 miles an hour down the road. We've made a Bugatti engine, but it's just toddling down the road at tick over. I extrapolated the graph to see when that engine was at its max, because that's the important thing. And it's between 4 and 4.5 million people. So we have a system that is sustainable to take us from 210,000 people to 4.5 million. Now, if our Nigerian friends are that good in bringing people in, you may bring 4.5 million people in a year. Then all I would do is I'd have to get off my backside and make a fifth part to the engine to continue it up to say 6 million, you know? So what I've tried to explain is exactly how we make money for this company. The analysis that I went through, and probably you will be able to take things from that analysis from your previous network market experience and say, oh my God, now I understand why this failed, why that failed, why that couldn't make it. And there we go. That is everything that I can possibly think of explaining to you. As regards the compensation plan and the binaries and everything, that's not my baby. It's better to speak with Kamran and the network marketing guys on that. I wanted to explain how the company really works so that you knew. Thank you for listening to me. I really appreciate it.